Shalom, family. Most High in Christ bless. I'm here, man. Happy Tuesday. What's up with you? Officer? How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. We glad to have you back, Cap.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
all
It
praise,
was
man.
a
I'm happy to
long
be back.
6-8 weeks. He was out
Man,
there
it was like
doing the
9,
thing.
10 weeks, man.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, though. And I look forward to sharing my knowledge with y'all, man. How you doing, O'Neill? You doing all right, man? You good, man? How you doing, sir? You good? Yeah, turn your mic on. You might as well leave that on. I'm going to be talking and stuff.
I'm doing well, Cap.
You doing all right?
Nice. Yes, sir.
All right. Happy to have you. Yeah, speak up, man. Is this mic loud enough?
Check. One.
Make sure you're good. How was your day today, Azariah? It was all right, man. You have a good day today?
Monday at the post office, but it's over.
Wee.
No, what was it today? Tuesday at the post office? Tuesday at the post office.
Felt like a Monday. Every day
felt.
ain't the world just going? Ain't the time just speeding up? Where that scripture at? Let's start with that scripture right there, man. Yeah. You know what I want on ice? All right, let's do that. Let's start right there, man. Sheesh.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 22.
Yeah.
And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Man, it feel like the Lord is definitely shortening the days. It's like, man, the whole 365 is gone. He sped that thing smooth up. I feel like it was just yesterday, the other day, and now it's the other day today, and it's over with. The whole 365 is passed on by us, man. But that's a good scripture to start with, man. Let's read that again. What, you got another one too? Don't even worry about it. Just read that one again. I like that.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 22.
Yeah.
And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
So today I'm going to talk about marriage, right? I want to talk about marriage a little bit. Hold on back there. Then I want to talk about marriage a little bit. And it's interesting. We started right there because it's like, time is flying, and getting caught up in the day-to-day of life and child raising and work and being married and petty arguments or petty issues, you'll lose track of time. You know what I'm saying? I told my wife that the other day. I said, man, that's something I want us to really do better, is enjoy each other better. Like, let's really focus in on enjoying each other. Give me that scripture. Sure. I don't even know. I want us to enjoy each other. Go ahead. What you got?
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 9. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of thy life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor which thou takest under the sun.
So that is your portion in this life, man. Y'all got to live joyfully together. And you can get so caught up, like I said, in the day-to-day, the day-to-day. And what the day-to-day looks like, y'all know we just had a new married couple, you know what I'm saying? Very young, new married couple. And they have no idea what's in store for them, Like we can say it and we can read precepts and tell them, you know what I'm saying? I know the sister sat down with her and I know the brothers talk with him and I talked to them together a couple of times, but they have no idea of the chaos that will soon ensue in their life.
20-something years into it, they have no idea.
20-something years? Do you have an idea? Still?
I did not have an idea. But it don't seem like we've been married over 20 years, but we have been.
Marriage flies. Time flies, man.
Time flies.
Time flies, man.
I looked up and one day she had a hair full of gray hair.
What
I was like,
the
what the
heck?
hell happened? Where'd my wife go?
Let's read that scripture again. Let's read that precept again, man. That was a good one.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 9.
Yeah.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity.
So that's the challenge, right? Living joyfully with each other. That's going to be the challenge. Because you can easily get into this place where the marriage can just spiral into, oh my gosh, do I got to come home? Like routine. Yeah, you fall into that routine of just, you know what I'm saying? So you got to find the joy in it, man. How is it that you're going to find the joy inside of the marriage in the day-to-day? That's the challenge. That is the challenge. Go ahead.
No, like you said, at the wedding, one way is intimacy, and that doesn't.
You just gonna just steal the class? You just gonna just start with the class?
No, I'm just saying.
That's what I'm gonna talk about.
I know. I'm just.
Oh,
saying,
go ahead.
I'm just
Talk
saying,
about it then.
Because you asked a question.
He
so
want to start right there.
No, I'm just saying because I know at the wedding when you mentioned that, the first thing that comes. I'm not gonna say the first thing that comes to everybody's mind, but when you think intimacy, you think, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
the deed.
Yeah.
But intimacy is far more than that.
Yeah.
It's that look from across the room with only she know that look.
Only she knows.
But I digress. We're gonna get into it.
Nah, I mean that's important. I mean we can probably jump off right there, but I mean that's important because we was having that conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about my wife, all the business. Anyway, it's more things that's fun than just that. You know what I'm saying? We can have fun in other ways. We can laugh together. We can joke together, right? We can enjoy each other's company. We just got to be able to see it. But like I said, we get so caught up in just life, we don't even see the joyful moments that we can have. What's going on over there, Mike? We good? All right, let me know, man. Read it one more time for me.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 9. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun.
Which he has given thee under the sun. When you look at Genesis, right? Let's go to Genesis. Watch this. I was reading this the other day. This was tripping me out. We're going to look at Genesis chapter 5. Just start at verse 1. Watch this thing.
Genesis chapter 5 and verse 1.
Yeah.
This is the book of the generations of Adam, in the day that God created man. In the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created.
Here it comes.
And Adam lived 130 years.
How long did he live?
130 years.
Now, I want you to really think about this. Adam lived 130 years.
Man.
Here we go now. This gets better. Watch this.
And begat a son.
What did he do?
And begat a son.
At 130 years. How much time did he have to just enjoy his wife before he even had kids? He had like 130 years of just them kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Doing whatever they was doing in the Garden of Eden. Going to the winery, going down to the beach, going down to wherever they was at, whatever was going on in the Garden of Eden. They was doing that.
Adam said to Eve, you are my sun, you are my moon.
There it is.
You are my shining star.
You're
my kind of wonderful. That's what you are.
Barry White is Adam. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you said. Okay, I got
years,
it.
He had to keep it fresh. He had to keep it fresh.
Read on.
And Adam lived 130 years and begot his son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth,
after he had Seth,
were 800 years.
Look at all that time he had to spend with his wife. Look at all that time. You know what I'm saying? He had 130 years before he had some kids. And then, this is not including Cain and Abel. But let's read on. Watch this.
And he begot sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years.
Okay.
And he died.
Yep.
And Seth lived 105 years. And
105 years.
And begat Enos.
And then he had Enos. See that? You know how long? You know what they say? What they call it? Dang it, man! Geriatric pregnancies. You know what I'm saying? What they call it? High risk pregnancies.
Yeah, women when they get old. What is it? Like a 40?
It's like 37, 35, 37, somewhere in there. It's like 37, I think. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no 105. I promise you that. You know what I'm saying? You want to have some babies, you got to get started around in your 30s.
That's the original black don't crack.
You know what I'm saying? Look how many years they had before they even started having babies. Look at all that time they had to just enjoy each other. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine what they say about these women now. 16.
Yeah. What the hell? Babies having babies taken to a new level now when you read this. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
And Seth lived 105 years and begat Enos.
Uh-huh.
And Seth lived after he begot Enos 807 years.
Look at all that time he had with his wife after that. Had the kids, the baby done grown up. You know what I'm saying? The baby done had a baby in there somewhere. Go ahead.
and begat sons and daughters.
Yep.
And all the days of Seth were 912 years.
Yep.
And he died.
Yep.
And Enos lived 90 years. And
Enos lived 90. Now think about it. Now Seth just had him at 105. Now Enos at 90 have a baby. But on top of that, Seth got to live another 800 years. So he got to see his grandson have babies and his grandsons have babies. Look at all that time in there he had. That time to enjoy life, to enjoy the what it say in go back to Ecclesiastes 9. We're gonna come right back to this. I just thought this was crazy. I was reading this the other day.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 9. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun all the days of thy vanity.
So what's the one in Proverbs? Go to Proverbs right quick. Proverbs chapter 5, I believe, is verse 19. We're going to go back to Genesis. Sure.
The book of Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 18.
Yeah.
Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth.
That's the one I wanted. Yep. Enjoy the wife of thy youth. See that? That's a whole different way they seen it. The wife of their youth was in their 60s and 70s. You still in your youth with your wife. You don't even know it. You like, oh, this is miserable. It's been 20 years. Enos was married hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? Sheesh, that's still the wife of your youth when you in your 50s, your 60s. That's still the wife of your youth. Let's go back to Genesis one more time. We just look at one more. This is crazy to me. Genesis
chapter 5 and verse 9.
Yeah.
And Enos lived 90 years and begat Canaan. And Enos lived after he begat Canaan 815 years and begat sons and daughters.
See that? 90 years before you had, that's a lot of time to enjoy each other, to enjoy the wife of your youth. You know what I'm saying? So it's more fun to be had than just, the vertical mumbo. You know what I'm saying? Or is it horizontal? I don't know. What's vertical? Vertical is like this. Okay, so horizontal. Yeah, there you go. One of them planes. Y equals mx plus b. You know what I'm saying? I got you. You know that? You know what that is? Nope. Slope intercept. There you go. Hey, that's my guy right there. Call him, get all the answers. Let's go back. Where are we going? Let's start right here. So intimacy, right? Let's look at Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. So one of the things, the main thing we talked about at the wedding was the pillars of marriage, right? Matter of fact, let's start with that. Let's go to Psalms, I believe it's 144. Psalms 144. Let's look at verse 12.
The book of Psalms, chapter 144 and verse 12. That our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace.
Polished after the similitude of a palace. She's like a cornerstone. These are some cornerstones, right? We can use to keep our marriage strong. These are some of the pillars, right? Not saying this is everything, but I try to touch some of the things, and we'll go a little deeper into these and look at some case studies to further elaborate on what it looks like to be in this marriage, to communicate in marriage, to have God in your marriage, to be intimate in your marriage. Let's look at some case studies or some biblical case studies that we can use to kind of build out what it looks like and how to live it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really the main thing. Because like I said, my guy, Officer Jair and Sis, you know what I'm saying, they have no idea what they in store for. You know what I'm saying? No idea. Where are we starting at? Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Intimacy, because that's what Azariah want to talk about. When he think about fun, that's what he think about. You know what I'm saying? Hebrews 13 and 4.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4.
Yeah.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. So marriage is honorable and the bed is not defiled. Whatever it is you want to do in the bedroom, get it on. You know what I'm saying? It's not defiled. You know what I'm saying? Don't be doing no I don't even want to say none of that. Whatever. But you got to be intimate with each other. You know what I'm saying? But how is it
that you maintain that intimacy. Let's go to Proverbs again. We're going to go to Proverbs. We just was looking at it. What is it, 5 again?
18, 19.
Let's look at that right quick.
Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 18.
Yeah.
Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as a loving hind and a pleasant roe.
Let her be as a loving hind and a pleasant roe. What's that, a deer? It's like a deer and a doe. You know what I'm saying? What is that? Let's read that again. Let's really think about that.
Verse 19. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times.
So what does it mean to be like what's a hind or a roe? What is that? That's like a deer, right? Like a deer. What do you do with a deer? Like you kind of like, I mean, I never had a deer, but they kind of like majestic or something, right? They kind of like move around. You kind of got to. Why are you looking at me like that? Oh my gosh, why are you looking at me? Let's look up some attributes of a deer. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some attributes of a deer. Because he said, let her be like. Read it again.
Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times.
Let her be like a loving hind and the pleasant roe. Like, let's look up a deer. What is a deer like? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He used that term for a reason, Shabaya. You're looking at me like that. He wouldn't just use any term, right? When he say Israel is like a what do you say they like in Isaiah? Read that one. In Isaiah 1. Yeah. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider.
So the Lord is comparing us to dumb animals right here. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at this one in Job. Let's look at this one in Job. This one in Job I like too. Like a colt. You know what I'm talking about? COLT. You know what I'm talking about? I'll find it right quick. So no, Job. That's what it is? Yep, Job 11:12. Yep, let's read that.
The book of Job, chapter 11 and verse 12.
Yeah.
For vain man would be wise, though man be born like a wild ass's colt.
You see that? See that? See, the Lord uses the animals in order sometimes to describe the attributes in which we have. And he said your wife is supposed to be like a loving, what did he say she's supposed to be like again? Read it again.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 5 and verse 19.
Yeah.
Let her be as a loving hind and pleasant roe.
And a pleasant roe. You see, that's what she's supposed to be like. So let's look at some attributes on what it is that she's like. You got something? What you got? Daniel over there. Bring that up. All right, there you go. It says a deer is being with agreeable, non-confrontational personality. They're very sensitive and attentive to little things. Deer are observant and receptive to the feelings of other people. They empathize and sympathize with everyone in need. You see that? See that? See, the Lord used that for, I didn't even know that was going to be like that when I read that. But see, he used that for a reason. He wouldn't just use any animal. He could have said, let her be like a pterodactyl. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't have been something, you know what I'm saying, that you'd be like, oh, I want to marry that. Go ahead. Read it. You read it. What you see?
Preferences and fears. Deer are modest, shy, and rather timid animals.
You see that? See that, Shemai? See you looking at me like I was crazy when I started talking about hind roes and deer. It's like, this guy is crazy. I'm not crazy. Go ahead. What else do it say? Anything else good?
Yeah. They can smell danger and run away from it in time. They're uncomfortable in the spotlight. They feel out of their element there. Deer live a peaceful, calm life. Bustle and haste lead them to a stressful state. Reindeer are uncomfortable with the atmosphere of rivalry and competition. They try to immediately leave such an environment. Deer are discerning. It's simply impossible to deceive and outwit them. They are always on the alert. At the same time, deer have an exaggerated sense of justice.
Boy, I tell you, I feel like I'm reading about my wife right now. It just could replace that with Kanaya. You know what I'm saying? Just all of that. You know what I'm saying? So read it again.
Proverbs chapter 5, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Let her be as a loving hind and pleasant roe.
So, no, don't take it down. Don't take it down. Bring it back up for me. Oh, now you got to look it up again? Okay. All right. So it say, let her be modest and shy, right? Timid, right? When you dealing with your wife, that's sometimes you're going to deal with that, especially when it comes to intimacy, right? Sometimes you got to say, you know what, honey? Look how nice. Let's get it on tonight. You know what I'm saying? You might have to lead the charge in that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Azariah. Go ahead, say something. Come on, man. You look like you want to say
Charge.
something. Nah. All right, let's go to this one. Let's go to, well, we looked at Proverbs. Let's look at Song of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 10. I like Song of Solomon.
The book of Song of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 10.
Yeah.
I am my beloved's, and his desire is towards me.
Woo-wee, desire. Can I get the definition of desire? I am my beloved's, and his desire is towards me. We're going to talk about intimacy and desire. Fire and desire. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's favorite. Let me get the definition of desire.
Desire, noun. A strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen.
Let me get Miriam. You got Miriam? Merriam-Webster's. There you go.
Desire, to long or hope for, exhibit or feel desire for. To express a wish for. To express a wish to. Invite, to feel the loss of.
Archaic.
Conscious impulse towards something that promises enjoyment or satisfaction in its attainment.
I like that. I like that right there. Conscious impulse towards something. That's what desire is. You got to have a conscious impulse towards the wife of your youth. How do you do that? How do you do it, though? Let's look at the next one. What does it say? Longing. Craving. Come on. What else you got?
Sexual urge or appetite.
Sexual urge or appetite. Go ahead.
Something longed or hoped for. Something desired. A usually formal request or petition for some action.
For some action. For some action. Let's go back up. Don't take that. Don't lose that for me. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5 and verse 19. Because we're talking about intimacy, right? And when we looked at Song of Solomon, it said his desire is towards me.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 19.
But desire is a conscious impulse. Come on, read that thing.
Matthew chapter 5 verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
That ain't what I wanted. 15 and verse 19. I'm sorry. 15. Come on, man. You're throwing me off.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 19.
Yeah.
For out of the heart proceeded evil thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man.
Read that again.
For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts.
So out of the heart proceed evil thoughts. What will separate you from desire inside of that marriage a lot of time is not the conscious impulse. You're not putting in the mental work in order to keep yourself connected. It takes work. Sometimes she gonna look like Medusa. Sometimes he might not like to wear cologne. I don't know why people don't like to wear cologne. It makes no sense to me. It smells good to me. Oh, nice. What about you?
I don't wear cologne.
Why?
I got a natural good smell.
A natural musk.
Hey, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the microphone for the audience? Yeah, turn it on because we know how you guys do. Just hand them a red mic.
You got it.
All right, Phalanx, what does intimacy look like to you? The big button of smile?
Shalom, sir. No, sir. Being able to be in sync with each other. being able to, I don't want to sound corny, but if like in the sense of finishing each other's sentences, like you know what each other is thinking, like you know what I mean, being able to be on the same page with each other.
All right.
Shalom, sir.
Shalom, man.
Shalom, bro.
Similar to that, just again knowing what she wants before she can even say it, and she knows what I want before I even say it.
Shalom, sir. Intimacy is
What's it look like to you? We're not looking for the
me?
book definition. What's it look like to you?
it just be the eyes, the smile, just
That's what intimacy is to you.
just you know what I'm saying. It's just the look.
Pass it on. Keep on sliding down. Ooh, look at Ariella. She's thinking hard right now. Like, you hear that mic over here, boy? Oh, woo, woo, woo. Nah, go ahead, Shemaya. Yeah. What's intimacy look like to you, man? And you know, we're not looking for the perfect answer. What's it look like to you?
Hey, I just need somebody there to be able to let me know if I'm dying or something. You know what I'm saying?
That's intimacy.
intimacy to you?
Oh,
you know what I'm
damn.
saying? A sister that's taking care of, like when you looked at that definition of the roe, of the deer, you know what I'm saying? Alert and all that stuff, aware of things that I'm completely oblivious about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're looking out for my health and theirs. You know what I'm saying? That's intimacy.
All right, I'm not gonna put the pressure on the sisters, but a lot of times some of you guys that's been upstairs with me, some of you ladies been upstairs with me. You know what I'm saying? You hear me say this thing. You got to learn to speak her language, right? That's intimacy. You got to learn to speak her language. Like when I speak I can speak my wife's language. You know, hold her hand, open the car door for her. You know, that's her language, and that's intimacy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, man, it's important. We know that you're the head of your household. Right. We know that, you know, we know 1 Corinthians 11. But from somebody that's been married over 20 years, right, you got to learn her language. Once you learn her language, then that intimacy goes to a whole nother level.
Yep.
Right, a whole nother level. Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. It looks different to everybody. Let's go back to that Ecclesiastes chapter 9, I believe it was 10.
Yeah.
And the thing you got to decide is this. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing you got to decide, right? Brother that don't like to wear cologne. Let's read that. Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Come on, Daniel.
We just put that there,
That's
too.
Daniel's fault.
My bad.
Go ahead, read that thing.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 9.
Yeah.
Live joyfully
Live
with
what?
Live joyfully.
So it's up to you to decide if you want to live joyfully. What if she like for you to smell like this? You know what I'm saying? What if she likes I don't know.
Hot breath.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to live miserably, you know, with somebody, then hey, you know what I'm saying? It's on you. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things you got to be able to say. Am I breaking the commandments?
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel like I'm belittling my position that God put me in? If you don't do that, then it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to, you don't got to. You know what I'm saying? It's certain, like I like cologne. I got a whole bunch of it. You know what I'm saying? Not picking on you or not. I'm just using that example. You know what I'm saying? But a certain cologne my wife like, and I'd be like, I don't like that. I'm not getting that. You know what I'm saying? We was in there the other day, and there was a lady, she was like, oh, this is the best-selling scent in the whole world. And I was like, well, I absolutely don't want it then. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to walk around smelling like cool water because everybody smell like cool water. Why would I want to do that? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's certain things, certain tools, you got to figure out what it looks like to be intimate. You know what I'm saying? I you know what I'm saying? We personally, we set aside, I'm going off too far off deep end. But anyway, we set aside certain days of the week for certain things, right? We got like Massage Monday. You know what I'm saying? We might have, Tongue Down Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And we got other days throughout the week, and I'm not going to tell you all of those things because it's me and my wife. But we try to keep the intimacy, the desire there. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Like we got date night.
Date night. Yeah,
You know
y'all
what I'm
do. Yeah.
We do date night. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it ain't gotta be shea foo-foos. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
It could be Popeyes in Seaport Village on some lawn chairs. But
Yeah.
but it's that knowing that language.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Knowing that language.
Y'all got to figure out what it means to be intimate, how to connect intimately. That's how you make sure you make, so like it said right there, desire, right? It says a conscious impulse towards something. What is the conscious impulse towards something? It's what it say here in Ecclesiastes 10:9. It's, what was it?
9 and 9.
9 and 9.
Live joyfully with
Living
the wife.
joyfully, finding a way to live joy. Do you consciously want to live joyfully, or do you consciously want to live miserably? It's up to you.
It's crazy, right? Go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. I think that's what I want.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife.
So what's it mean to cleave? Right? What's it mean to cleave? What's it mean to cleave? Phalanx, what's it mean to cleave?
I think we lost the mic. So,
Yeah.
oh, you got it back. Oh, okay.
What's it mean to cleave onto something?
I don't know the proper definition,
Just say your
but
best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
just say what you
speak.
got.
I don't know, be joined together with her, like you said, know her language, cleave onto her.
Pull up the definition.
Hold on like you about to fall off a cliff. And you're going to cleave. You're going to hold on to it for dear life.
Man.
I agree,
Yeah,
brother.
pull up the definition, man.
I agree with Brother David. It's to hold on tight.
Hold on tight. Hold on tight. Cleave.
It says to adhere firmly and closely, loyally and unwavering. Right? Right? How do you get there?
How do you get there?
Communication.
Yep.
So that all that intimacy, that cleaving, right, all starts with communication. You know, sharing your deepest, darkest secrets, right? You know what I'm saying? It says, read that 2 and 24 again.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
It being intimate and being one flesh, that means you got to be thick as thieves. Like no, let nothing that God joined together, let man take apart. I just murdered that, right? I just
You
shredded
did your
that.
best, though. It was somewhere in there.
But it's important, man. It's important. Like, and that's from the very beginning of the Bible.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yep.
from the very beginning. Right? Paul expounds on it in Ephesians chapter 5, but like from the beginning, and that's where the intimacy begins.
Let's go to it. Let's go to Ephesians. Let's go to Ephesians 5. Let's look at that. Because that's really the crux of all of this. You know what I'm saying? Ephesians 5. And I want verse. We can read verse 31 and 32.
The book of Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 31. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife.
There you go. Same thing. Cleave, right? Go ahead.
And they two shall be one flesh.
Here it come.
This is a great mystery.
This is a great mystery. Why is it such a great mystery? Because you bring it to the table your thoughts, your attributes, what makes you happy, and then they bring it in they thoughts, what they saw growing up in their household. She ain't got no mom and daddy, but you grew up with your daddy, or she grew up with her mom and you grew up with your dad, and y'all trying to bring all of this together and trying to figure out how to be intimate, how to communicate, because it's going to look different. It's a great mystery. Why is it a great mystery? Because it's two people that grew up in two totally different ways and households, and you got to figure out how to live joyfully. You got to figure that thing out. It's a great mystery. You got to work at it every day. But you're not going to do it without that word, desire. You're not going to do it without desire. The desire to want to live joyfully. The desire to want to live in peace. The desire to want to be intimate. And what did God say we have to do? Be fruitful and multiply. Without those things, without the desire towards doing what God told you to do, you're never going to live joyfully. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the desire.
They're new in the marriage. They only been married, a year or two.
Yep.
And then when I told them me and Karen been married 20 years, they be like, damn, I don't know how they did it.
I don't know how they did it, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Sirach too tells you that, the trials and tribulations gonna come.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Without no hills, there's no what? There's no valleys.
No valleys.
You know what I'm saying? It's part of it.
Yep.
It's part of it.
Definitely.
The great mystery.
The great mystery. Read that thing again.
Yeah.
This is a great mystery,
Uh-huh.
but I speak concerning Christ and the church.
Speak concerning Christ and the church. The same thing that Christ went through with the church and loving the church and being intimate and the communication with the church. That's the same thing you're going to go through as a husband and a wife. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing you're going through. It's a great mystery. It's hard. It's a challenge every day. How do I love this woman? How do I love this man that's getting on my nerves? How do I do it? Desire. You got to maintain that desire. You got to fight. Go give me that definition of desire again. It says a conscious
impulse.
A conscious impulse, meaning you have to think about it. You got to wake up and think about that. You know what I'm saying? Got to wake up and think about how to maintain this marriage. Go ahead.
Yep. Because a conscious impulse, that's a choice.
Yep. Exactly.
That's a decision. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give this thing my all.
Yep.
With this woman or if it's the rib with her Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Come thick or thin, you know what I'm saying? High water, low water, we gonna work it out.
Yep. Yep.
We gonna work it out.
Yep. Don't pack your bags, sisters. Don't keep packing your bags every time you're pissed off. That's not a conscious impulse. You know what I'm saying? That's a conscious give up. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. I'm giving up. You know what I'm saying? You got to consciously say, I'm going to find a way to make this work.
It says conscious impulse towards something that promises enjoyment.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely will at some point. It might not feel like it in that moment. Might feel like, man, I don't think it's nothing I can do to ever like this person again. But you'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? He did it for 20 years.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll get over it. But like you just said, another key pillar to marriage is communication.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
That's important.
That's important, right? That's important. That's a key pillar to even get to the pillar of intimacy. You got to be able to communicate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? How you gonna communicate? How you gonna be intimate with somebody you can't even communicate? Say, I don't like it like this. I like it like that.
Yep.
Let's do it like this. Let's try some of this. Let's try
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? But when you're new in the marriage, you don't even know you can have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You're scared to have that conversation. You're scared to have a conversation about bills. You're scared to have a conversation about kids. You think you're talking about it, but you're really not going in there. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a new marriage, you really think y'all talking. You know what I'm saying? But you're really not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go to this. Hebrews 13:16. Why are you looking at me? Yeah, man. You think you are. I can't tell you that you don't think you are because you do think you are. You know what I'm saying? Let's read it.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16.
Yeah.
But to do good and to communicate, forget not.
Forget not. But what does it look like? Like you just said, being able to tell somebody your deepest, darkest secrets, that's part of it. It's stuff I can tell my wife I would never tell none of y'all. Y'all would think I'm crazy, so I won't never tell y'all that. But I can tell her, you know what I'm saying, and we can laugh about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Karen knows I'm full retard.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that ain't the correct word, but she knows, like, man, I know she looking at me sometimes like, man, what the hell? And I be saying shit with conviction.
Let's go to 1 Peter 3. We're going to come right back. Let's go to 1 Peter 3. First Peter 3, everybody favorite. All my married people, I recommend reading First Peter 3 together. You know what I'm saying?
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1.
7.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
I like that verse, but that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted verse 6. Read verse 6.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
You see that? Even though Abraham said some stuff that was full retard. You know what I'm saying? Read that scripture again.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
You see that? See, and again, no disrespect towards Abraham. That's our forefather, but he did some stuff in the Bible. It ain't like he was just doing amazingly smart things as a husband. Yeah. He did some dumb stuff sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what communication looks like. Sometimes communication is, hey, husband, that's not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Read that. Where we at? Verse 6. Read that again.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
As long as you do well. You know what I'm saying? As long as you do well. Let's go to this. Let's go to James chapter 3 and verse 5. Go ahead.
James chapter 3 and verse 5.
Yeah.
Even so the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
Go ahead.
And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and is set on fire of hell.
So again, the communication is key, right? But what my brothers and sisters have to learn how to do is put a handle on your words, right? That's something I learned as a kid, right? Putting a handle on your words. And I could say it, right? I say it, but to really know what that means, what it looks like, what does that look like to you? Let's go to the brothers. What does it look like to put a handle on your words? Y'all brothers is married. What does it look like? Go ahead.
You don't say, you don't be mean with your speech. Like you can tell the truth, but you don't have to be brutally honest.
Tell the truth, but don't be brutally honest. I want to get the definition of mean. Now I want to know what mean means. Go ahead.
Put it like how I put a handle. So I could be like, Karen, bring me a beer.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't. I'd be like, hey, baby. Bring me one of them beers, baby.
That girl right there.
Put a handle on that thing.
You got to put a handle on it.
See, if I just say, bring me a beer, she come there.
Yeah.
But when I said, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, bring me one of them beers, please.
Yeah.
Come, here you go, daddy.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you, baby.
Thank
And
you,
it go back to Ecclesiastes 9:9. Let's read it one more time.
Sister Z, you don't believe me, huh?
You know what I'm talking about?
That's how it's going down in the house of Azariah.
That's how you got to do it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 9.
Yeah.
Live joyfully.
These are things you got to do to live joyfully. You got to put some handles on your communication. You can't just communicate and think you communicating if you're not communicating the right way. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to James chapter 3 one more time.
James chapter 3 and verse 6.
5.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
Even so the tongue is a little member.
The tongue is just a small part of your body. Go ahead.
And boasteth great things.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
Behold, how great a matter. If you don't put a handle on your words, if you talking mean to each other, let me see. Intend to convey, mean means to intend to convey, indicate, or refer to a particular thing. Nah, that ain't intend to occur. No.
Yeah,
That's not. Go ahead. Give me Webster's. Give me Webster anyway. That's like the mathematical mean.
Yeah.
Nope.
Going down.
There you go. Mean, it's what is that? An adjective.
Yeah, lacking distinction or eminence. Humble. Lacking in mental discrimination. Of poor, shabby, or inferior quality or status.
Go ahead.
Worthy of little regard.
Worthy of little regard. Read that James one more time.
James chapter 3 verse 5.
Yeah.
Even so the tongue is a little member and boasts of great things.
You can say great things outside the house to everybody but your spouse. Everybody but your husband or wife, you can say great things. Go ahead.
And boasted great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity.
But see, when you're with that spouse, when you're with that husband or the wife, the world of iniquity is started, because the person that's closest to you is the one that you are mean to. The person that you closest to is the one you disregard the most. That's when the communication and in order to even people don't understand a lot of times how the communication even leads to the intimacy. You can't even get to that if you're talking crazy half the day. I get home, you want to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, stay away from me.
Yeah.
Talking crazy all day. How was I talking crazy? I just said, can you go to the stove? You didn't say that. You said, go to the stove. You know what I'm saying? That's being mean.
Hey, nice. Give me Proverbs chapter 31, verse 11. This is the result of good communication, right? This is the result of good communication. So we all the ladies know, and the men should know, that Proverbs 31 speaks about a virtuous woman. Yeah. But the result of good communication, open dialogue, you know what I'm saying? When you're really intimate and communicating, read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, and verse 11. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her.
So if you're really communicating with your Lord, right, your Lord's, his mind is no doubt is going to trust in you, right? Because he knows you believe what it says in Genesis 2 and 24, what we just read in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 31, right? That two become one flesh. Understand what I'm saying? So read it again.
The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her.
Read.
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
So, because he knows you guys have an open dialogue, right? You have good communication. You guys are intimate. He knows come hell or high water, he or she going to have your back. He understands totally that your interests are her interests and her interests are your interests. And you only get there through communication, right? Putting a handle on the conversation like Cap was speaking to.
Yep. It's key. Like I said, man, that's key. But we don't understand how important. A lot of time, our brothers and sisters don't understand how these things affect everything else. How, if you speak to each other with the handle, with desire, with a conscious intent. When you do that, it affects everything else around you. You know what I'm saying? How you enjoy time together. Read it again. Ecclesiastes 9 and 9. All of that is gonna affect that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 9.
Yeah.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days, the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor which thou takest under the sun.
Let's go back to 1 Peter chapter 3.
1 Peter chapter 3 and
let's start at verse 7.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. Yeah. And as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
It say dwell with them according to knowledge. When we're looking at communication, right, the knowledge that you're going to have to use in order to build it up is the scriptures first and foremost, right? And you're going to have to be able to have those direct conversations in order to show her what a handle looks like to you, right? And then y'all can start communicating on the same wavelength. But sometimes in the midst of her doing whatever she might be doing as a husband, you got to stop her and say, hey, that's not what respect looks like to me. Let me show you. This is what I expect you to do. But I grew up doing this like this, and this is natural to me. Okay, that might be natural, but I need you to make a conscious intent to help bring peace into the household. Sometimes you got to stop her. Because if you don't and you just hold on to it and you never communicate what the issue is, then it'll just continue to grow and fester.
Yep.
That's what communication looks like from the husband standpoint. You got to stop. When you see the disrespect happening, and you can't, because what we do a lot of times as men is we let stuff go. We'll have a conversation, and she done said some stuff that done probably pissed you off, but you let it go, and now it'll just keep happening. But then when you stop her and say, hey, this is what I need you to start doing right here, right there. Well, that thing you just did right there, how you said that right there, I know you might not have meant it no type of way, but I received it a type of way.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Go and get it, Sirach 36 and 25. This is exactly what Cap's speaking to right here.
Sirach chapter.
Is it 25 I want?
Where no hedges?
Yep.
Sirach chapter 36 verse 25. Where no hedges, there the possession is spoiled, and he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning.
So when we're talking about 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7, right? When you're dealing with your wife, right, according to knowledge, right, and we know we got to deal with her according to this Bible, right? You got to set the parameters out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be playing no games, because like Captain said, if you don't address it, right, it's not gonna
fix itself.
There you go. I was trying to get fancy with it, but get right to the point, Cap.
Yeah, it ain't gonna get no better. It definitely ain't. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. You got another one?
No.
Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's look at verse 28. These are the curses that God put upon us.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart.
A lot of time we blind to ourselves. We think what we did, how we grew up, how we seen things happen, as dysfunctional as it is, we want to continue to repeat those things. I'm all right. No, you're not all right. How you grew up, you're not all right. You think you're all right, like you didn't die, but you're not all right. You do not communicate effectively. You're not all right. You're mean. You're not all right. You don't know how to even get to intimacy. You're not all right. You don't know how to love God. These are the things. You got to be able to have that conversation. You're not all right. Well, it's good enough for my mom and daddy, and look at them. You're getting married right now. Both sets of y'all parents is divorced. Don't follow their example, please. Let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't communicate effectively. A lot of times as a child, right, you learn it from your parents. And either you're going to be just like them, or you're going to say, I'm not going to be nothing like them. A lot of times with our people, we probably don't want to be nothing like the marriages that we saw growing up. Go ahead. You want to say something, officer?
No, I'm just thinking.
Let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32. Well, no, we'll just keep going. Let's look at 29. We'll just keep going.
Verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness.
The problem is right there in front of you, but you can't seem to figure out how to solve it. One of my favorite statements, I don't know where I heard it. I heard it somewhere. Probably in Christianity or somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, stop looking for the one and be the one. Right? A lot of times we want to place the blame on the other person. You got to be able to say, what can I do consciously to affect change in this household? Stop trying to figure out what's wrong with them, and you set the example. And then y'all can move forward, because now the example has been set. But a lot of times as husbands and wives, I'm going to treat them like they treat me because they get on my nerves. So maybe if I act like they act, maybe they'll get how to not
railing for railing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Let's go forward.
And thou shalt grope at noonday as a blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
The marriage ain't going to prosper.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
Come on.
Thou shalt betroth thy wife, and another man shall lie with her.
So in the head of most our sisters, right? Most our sisters is Christianity. Is what's there. Is what they learned in the system, the Christianity, the political, the norm, the Facebook, the TikTok. That's what's in their head. Even though she married to you, in her mind, it's another man that's telling her how to be a wife instead of you. Come on.
Thou shalt betroth thy wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
Let's look at verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look, and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
There should be no might in our hand. Us growing up as children, right? We learned in this system. Wherever we learned how to be husbands and wives from, we didn't learn it from God. Read that again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Thy sons and thy daughters, meaning us as children, learning what it is to be a husband, to be a wife one day. We learned it from the other nations. We don't know how to be husbands and wife to us and to our people. We got to learn how to do that, how to pay attention to those things. You think I'm saying? Not to what we want to pay attention to, not what we saw on Disney movies, not what we saw on whatever shows you was watching as a kid. That's a lot of times that's what's in our mind on what marriage should look like. We learned it from the Cosby Show. You know what I'm saying? We learned it from wherever we learned it. You know what I'm saying? BET. Yeah, learned it right there. And none of that is helping us be successful in our marriage. How to communicate. Let's go to this. Go back to 1 Peter chapter 3.
First Peter chapter 3 and verse 7.
Yeah.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel.
As unto the weaker vessel. Let's go to the one in Isaiah. One more time. I promise I'm going to jump off this, but I'm going to get there. What's the one in Isaiah? The curse. Isaiah. The women. It's early in Isaiah. Yeah. 3 and... Let's start at verse 16.
Isaiah chapter 3 verse 16.
Yeah.
Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty.
Is the Bible a true book, brothers?
Yes.
So this is what we dealing with. These are the attributes of our sisters currently, right? Even though we want them to be as the hind and the chase row. That's what we want. But we read in the curses that as a child, we learned the opposite of what we should be. So now going into marriage, we got to understand how these things are going to affect us. And now we have to have realistic expectations of what it's going to be like to be married. It's going to be challenges. That's why I say, again, marriage is a great mystery. All of these challenges that we have around us have affected us. These things are true in the Bible. She should be like a chase row, but she is haughty right now. So you as a husband got to go in and do some surgery in order to, and it's going to be through communication, in order to get y'all back to the place where y'all can live joyfully. Read that again.
Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet.
Let's go back to 1 Peter chapter 3. What? Say something, man. That verse right there. Come on, bro, say something. Why you don't say it on the mic? Oh, man. Come on.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
You see that? Your prayers will be hindered as a husband if you don't go into the marriage, right, with the proper thought process, on the proper, expectations on what you're going to get on the other side of this thing. You got to align the expectation. She is not coming into the marriage perfectly ready to be your wife. You're going to have to communicate through that thing. He's not coming into the marriage perfectly ready to be your husband. You're going to have to communicate through those things in order to get to a place where y'all can work together, where y'all can desire each other, where y'all can make a conscious intention in order to live joyfully. Read on.
Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another.
You see that? It say you got to be all of one mind. How do you get to one mind if you don't communicate? You won't ever get there. If you closed off to what your husband or what your wife is saying, how do you ever get to one mind? How I grew up, I'm good. What I heard, what I saw, I'm good.
Let me ask you a question. All three of you men are married. All four of you men are married, right? So my question is, when's the last time you asked your wife, what are your dreams? Right? What do you want to do? Right? This ain't being a simp, right? This is having open dialogue.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So two can become fun. When's the last time you guys sat down? Like, babe, what you want? Like, what are your dreams? This is what I'm thinking about. When's the last time when you guys had one of them conversations with your rib? We'll start with Shemaiah, since his wife is here. And I'm gonna look at her while you answer to make sure your butt ain't lying, nigga. Yeah.
1980.
Man.
1980.
Ooh.
No, that's when she was born.
You know, when you start looking up, you know what I'm saying? You really
It all depends on how I can phrase that question in my mind. But that question in my mind, as I'm a phrase it, I'm gonna say this morning.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna ask you what it was, but okay, you said this morning.
Probably about 4 years ago. So.
Dang. Man,
We talk about it pretty.
repent, man. Go ahead, man.
We talk about it regularly.
Huh?
Regularly, so it comes up often.
Oh, regularly. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's been a while, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was like 2 nights ago.
But what if she think about crazy stuff though? What if she got crazy ideas?
You
Just
still asking, you
listen
know what
to
I'm
it.
saying? You can listen. You like, well, let's talk about that. I remember I wanted to go. What's that? What was it when you jump out of a plane?
Parachuting, skydiving.
Yeah. I was talking to my wife. This is a few years ago. She's like, your butt too big to be jumping out of a plane. Yeah. But I just had reading the part of my head because we just having this question of this conversation the other night. Yeah, we was just having this question the other night. You know, because we was thinking about if we sold the house, what we want. Well, what do you want in a house?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't gotta be all super deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Just having that conversation
having
back
that
and
conversation,
forth.
man.
Yeah, about all type of stuff. You ain't gonna cover all the bases, right? But you together for, according to Genesis chapter 5, like 976 years. So you gotta talk about stuff.
I gotta say something too. And like when we read Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 9, right? That ain't being a simp.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not being a simp. Just for the record, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you enjoying your rib, you're not giving up your position as the head of the household. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because sometimes decisions got to be made. Sometimes decisions got to be made. And as a husband, you're going to have to learn, is this something that I'm going to be able to have a conversation with her about, or is this just something I just got to move on? You know, I learned that the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I was like, yeah, sometimes I got to just, yeah, honey, yeah, I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? This is what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? And you might not like it, but you'll learn to love it. You know what I'm saying? And then she'll look back. She's like, you know what? You was right. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, I told you. You know what I'm saying? Thought I was crazy. Where we at? 1 Peter 3.
1 Peter chapter 3 verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Finally be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another.
See that? Oh, bless his heart. Sometimes they might be retarded. Sometimes they might say something crazy. Have compassion on one another. You know what? They grew up like this. They grew up in a crack house. They might not have all their marbles. You know what I'm saying? They grew up in a trap house or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You got to have compassion on each other. I grew up in the projects of Oak Cliff. You know what I'm saying? Got to have compassion on me. You know? Read on.
Love as brethren.
Mm-hmm.
Be pitiful. Be
pitiful.
courteous.
Be courteous. Again, like I said, don't be mean to each other. Be courteous. Come on.
Not rendering evil for evil.
You see that? You don't want to. Sometimes you feel like in order to prove the point that you want to prove, you got to treat them like you feel like they treating you when they don't even think they doing nothing wrong sometimes. They think they just being normal. Like your normal is not very nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Or railing for railing.
Railing for railing, arguing.
But contrariwise, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
Here it come.
For he that will love life
Uh-huh.
and see good
Here
days,
it come.
let him refrain his tongue
You
from
see
evil.
that? You're going to be wise with your tongue and the things you say. Communication. Communication is a key pillar of marriage. Let's look at this. Malachi 7 and 5.
Yeah, it's important to speak life
Micah
into
7 and
your,
5. You're right.
into your spice, into your spouse, to your spice.
To your spice.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Speak life into your spouse.
Micah chapter 7 and verse 5.
Yeah.
Trust ye not in a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Put ye not confidence in a guide.
Come on.
Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom.
That lieth in our bosom. Let's look at Proverbs chapter 31, verse 26.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 26.
Yeah.
She openeth her mouth with wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
and in her tongue is the law of kindness.
Mm.
She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness.
So if she open it, read that scripture again. I'm sorry.
Verse 26. She openeth her mouth with wisdom.
She openeth her mouth with wisdom. If your wife is opening her mouth with wisdom, but it's saying that you shouldn't talk to her, does that mean that y'all don't have a conversation when we're looking at Micah 75? Is that what that's saying? Like y'all don't have a conversation? Like, nah. Y'all gotta still be able to have a conversation. It's certain things that you as a husband are gonna have to make decisions on. And you not gonna be able to sit down and whatever it might be to make her feel happy about this decision you're making. You just gonna have to go forward because you know this is the right way to go. Because us as men, sometimes we think a little bit more logically, you know, sisters. Sorry to break it to you. Sometimes y'all have some good logical thoughts. Sometimes y'all do. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to be able to listen to that, though. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it just be a big ball of emotion. And then like, that's not really getting us to what we need to get to. You know what I'm saying?
Can we read that? Read that again, Nice. Because I just said what? Speak what into your spouse?
Life.
Speak life into your spouse. That's what I said, right? Speak life into him, right?
Yep.
You know, you wake up in the morning, you know what I'm saying? She walking out the door, baby, you looking amazing today.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just something simple like that, right? And you as a wife speak life into your husband. You know what I'm saying? All right, babe, go out there and do your thing today. You know what I'm saying? Show and prove. Whatever the conversation y'all have, right? Right? My wife tells me, you know, running the zigzag pattern to stay low. Nah, I'm only kidding, but speak life into your spouse, right? And you know what the results of that will be if you did that as a spouse? I mean, as a rib to your Lord. Mm-hmm. Let's read verse 23, Onias.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 23. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land.
So if you're speaking with wisdom, right, like it says in the previous scripture we read, right, and you having communication, when I go up to you'll be like, man, you know what I'm saying? He's probably got a solid household right there. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Look how confident. He's not worried about nothing. We read it earlier in verse. What verse was that I read earlier? We read it earlier.
What did it say?
Yeah, 11. About the her Lord having trust.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're speaking that life into your Lord, you speaking that life into your wife, right? When you're speaking that life into your Lord, when he goes and represents the family, they're gonna know, right? He's not gonna be thinking, damn, what's this woman doing at home?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's I just really, communication is so important. Bro.
It is, man. It is. Communication is the key, man. It is so key to every tenet of the marriage. You know what I'm saying? It's so key.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the